that loss since you guys beat them? Are they doing things differently, or are they just doing what they do better?
Both. Both. You know, they're playing as well as any team in our league right now. And I forget the exact number. They have won 4, 5, 6 in a row, whatever the number is. You know, they're playing, you know, for the most part, smaller, and which makes them a little more dangerous offensively. You know, they're leaving more guys on the court that can take you off the bounce, and so, and they've stepped up, and so they're playing much differently and much better now than the first time.
Since you guys are playing somewhat differently over these last 5 or 6 games, how is it different for you guys? Are you guys a different team than when you faced them last time?
We are a different team. Hopefully we'll have the same result. But yeah, we are a different team right now than we were then, and I think, you know, we have to continue the evolution that we're going to do. We have to continue our growth.
With the contributions from guys that weren't playing a lot earlier in the season recently, do you feel like there's been more energy in practice? Has it affected just sort of the morale of the team, the idea of guys know they compete hard in practice, they're going to play in games? Do you feel like that's...
No, I haven't.
No?
Our practices are always spirited and hard, and so I don't think that's necessarily increased the last couple of weeks.
Has Greg brought anything to the scout team that makes that helps the starters?
Well, we discussed this last week. You know, is our scout team now better?
Well, you made a comment, and I honestly didn't know if it was facetious or...
Okay, let me finish. So, is our scout team better with Greg Whittington on the scout team? Absolutely. Is our team worse with Greg Whittington on the scout team?
Okay.
Absolutely.
I see your point. Not a trade-off.
No, not at all.
It's 6 straight games that you held an opponent under 40% shooting. You go into games looking to have some sort of bar of where you're trying to get, or is it just, hey, we're not trying to fall in?
What do you think? You know me both.
I was trying to way to get to the
For State U, let's try to hold them to 32.
Some teams hypothetically you could say it'd be different.
No, there's, you know, and probably relative to most coaches, a lot of coaches, I look at stats in general less than a lot of people, I think. So no, I don't go into it with a goal in mind. You know, we go into it wanting the opposition not to get good shots. We want to make every shot a tough, contested shot. Some days we've been better at it than others, but that's our goal. But there isn't a magic number in my head where I said, let's try to hold this team. Let's try to make every shot a tough shot, and then go get the rebound.
Can you tell intuitively then when your team's I mean, if you win, obviously that shows that you've done well, but can you tell intuitively when the defense is executing properly, when they are hitting hard, when they are having to take tough shots, versus looking afterwards at the stat sheet and saying, yes, that's...
Yeah, but that's not rocket science. So you sit there and watch the game and you say, wow, they're getting a lot of open shots and the ball's going in. We're not doing our job. And so I don't want to say there's always this great intuition that I have. It's you sit there, you watch the game, you can see whether they're getting good shots or not.
Let's try another random stat. In this 6 games, in each game, the opponent's taking fewer and fewer shots each game. In this last game, obviously, there was a lot of turnovers. They only took 43. I think St. John's taken 59. There's something to that. Again, they have a lot of turnovers as last game contributes, but there's something to that aspect of not even letting them get that big shots.
Well, we doing the conference call yesterday.
Yes.
So,
He was the one caller. I tried.
that's okay. That's okay. I was talking to him, not you. And I think I said this yesterday, but I mean, a lot of that is our defense has been pretty good, and the opposing teams are taking longer to get shots, so they're getting fewer shots. And then the last game, turnovers obviously played a part in it.
Do you feel you made today?
I don't want to jinx that. Have we worked on it? Absolutely.
Devontae
Don't write about it, because then they start thinking about it. Don't write about it. But have we worked on it? Yes.
Okay.
Devontae talked about feels like he can't even hear as a scorer, he doesn't know it as a scorer. He's really focused on playing defense and getting rebounds in the numbers, especially rebounds come through. Is that one of the harder things as a coach to get these guys to come in and not just focus on the scoring?
That's what I was going to say. Well, I got 15 guys that came in thinking they're scorers. And most of them were. And that's what they, most guys that this coming into this level, that's they view themselves as, to use their language, I get buckets. I got 15, 16 guys there that think they get buckets. But it is, I think he's grown. He's growing as a player because he can score. Let's not make a mistake about that. Devontae can put the ball in the basket. And as you guys have heard me say from day one, he has a good feel for the game of knowing when to get his and when to help you get yours. It's intuitive with him as it relates to that. But the other parts of the game, I think he's now appreciating that if he wants to be on the court, he's going to have to defend. He's going to have to rebound. He's going to have to do things that heretofore weren't as important to him, but he's capable. His instinct of rebounding. We usually say that about big guys, or just put someone. You look at him and you don't say, "Oh, that's an instinctive rebounder," but he is.
Anything else?
Now watch that. We're going to jinx everything. Miss every foul shot, and Devontae's going to get no rebounds, and this man's going to light him up to me.
On offense, there's always a sense of, ball run, not to you particularly, but the ball runs through a certain player or a certain guy sort of takes control. On the defensive end, I noticed last game, it seemed like Otto was doing a lot of communicating. Is there somebody on the defense who sort of makes sure that everybody gets into place on the court?
No, if he was the only one, then we weren't doing what we were supposed to do. And so that's there's no point person on defense. Everyone has to be talking. Everyone has to be communicating. Everyone has to be vocal. Everyone has to be extremely vocal for us to do it.
It was just a couple, one or two specific plays I just noticed, especially with him, because he's not a most vocal guy. At least around us, I seem to take notice of that particular moment.
Well, you guys have heard me say this about Otto for a year and a half now. The layman looks at the stats, and sometimes not the layman, sometimes people in the profession just look at stats. They make determinations and assessments of a good game, bad game. And I've said from day one, Otto takes pride in every part of the game, and he's very good at every part of the game. And part of that is he sees, he understands, and he has the ability. I said this in the post-game press conference as it relates to Nate, who I think is playing very well right now. But it's also true with Otto, where he can be where he's supposed to be, and also make sure you're where you're supposed to be, and make sure she's where she's supposed to be at both ends of the court. And because he can, he better do that. That's part of the responsibility / burden that I put on him.
Anything else?
Oh, I do have something.
Unrelated to the whole flow.
On Wednesday, St. John's and Syracuse announced they had signed a home and home going forward so they can preserve their rivalry after Syracuse. Are you guys working on doing the same? Something similar?
So you're talking about out-of-conference scheduling 2 years from now.
Well, they're going to play next year. I mean, in other words, Syracuse is
Syracuse
having their
leaving next
conference. Yeah.
Next year?
Yeah. Yeah, they're an ACC team in
Starting next year?
October. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So surely you have, are you guys working on a home and home or something contractual that we can
We've talked. We're at the point of a contract now.
okay. Are the talks continuing?
We're trying to get ready for St. John's right now.
Okay. Well, as in, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.